The events that have come to light in Plymouth yesterday on the 12th of August are absolutely horrific. The most important thing, and what should really be in everybody's thoughts at the moment, are the 5 people that have lost their lives, the 5 victims from all of this. My thoughts really are with all of the friends and families of the victims. No one wants this to happen, and I think we can all agree that together we need to look at what went wrong and how this could potentially be prevented in the future. So what do we know? Well, at around 6 p.m. on August the 12th in the Keyham area of Plymouth, somebody snapped. Somebody went absolutely berserk and ended up killing 5 people. The reports are the gun that they were using was a legally held shotgun, reported to be a pump action shotgun. The person responsible for this was a licensed shotgun owner. They did have a shotgun certificate, and what has come to light pretty much minutes before starting this video is that they did actually have their certificates taken away and their shotgun or shotguns taken away in September 2020, and they were returned around a month prior to this incident. We also know that the person responsible for this was fairly active on social media, and what is coming to light is there is quite a lot of worrying videos and posts either on YouTube or Reddit that is raising a lot of red flags, and certainly is asking the question of why did this person have a gun to begin with. A real separation within our firearms law. The 2 main certificates that your average sport shooter, hunter or firearm enthusiast will apply for is a shotgun certificate or a firearm certificate. On a shotgun certificate, you can own an over and under shotgun. That's where the barrels, as the name would suggest, are over and under, a side by side where the 2 barrels are side by side. You can own a pump action shotgun that has a tubular magazine limited to a capacity of 2 rounds. The maximum capacity that that gun can then store is effectively 3 rounds, and the same is true for a semi-automatic shotgun as well. For a firearm certificate, that opens up what you can own a lot more, but there are many more checks and balances in place. So this will cover things like rifles, either for target shooting or for stalking. You can own unrestricted capacity shotguns, semi-automatic 2.2 rimfire rifles for other sporting purposes or even vermin shooting, and also a variety of black powder guns. For a firearm certificate, you need to have either been a full member of a Home Office approved shooting club, or to have been mentored or show that you have adequate and sufficient experience out in the field vermin shooting. You also require 2 references, so 2 people that have known you for over 2 years in order to move forward with the application. What does it take to get a shotgun or firearm certificates? Well, the processes are very similar. They are incredibly stringent, and there are a lot of checks and balances in place. So for both of them, you will have a face-to-face interview with the police. You will have to get your GP or a qualified registered doctor to sign off on the application that you don't have any physical or mental health issues that would make you a danger with the firearm. Usually these processes can take months. They do quite in-depth criminal background checks on you. They will go through your social media and obviously get in contact with the really serious police, the counter-terrorism units, to make sure again you're not on any watch list, that there have never been any concerns about your character or the what you have done in the past. So we know what happened, we know what the laws are, so what went wrong? I am by no means anti-police. They have an incredibly hard job in assessing people, and at the end of the day, they are human. Mistakes can be made, and it is looking like, unfortunately, a quite significant mistake was made in this case with disastrous consequences. Whilst hindsight is 2020, with all of the content that has come to light on their social media channels, it is quite obvious looking at it now that this person was in no fit state mentally to be in charge of a firearm or shotgun, never mind having the certificates to legally go out there and buy them. And looking at the dates of the videos, they seem to start just before or just after the return of the certificates. Now, either or, this should have been highly monitored by the police. It is a matter of routine now to look at certificate holders' social media channels, especially if you've just given them back their certificates after taking them away from an allegation of assault. So they should have been watching this guy like a hawk. They should have seen these videos, and it should have immediately raised flags. There are also reports that his parents, both mother and father, were pleading with the police. We don't know whether this was prior to the confiscation of his firearms back in 2020 or more recently, but they were pleading with the police to take away his guns. There has also come to light that the potential or alleged assault was actually with his father. It was due to an altercation with his father. So, you know, the victim being his father, then going to the police and saying, I really think you should take away this guy's guns. They really should have listened, but perhaps this was back in September 2020 and that's why they took away his guns, but they certainly should have been watching his social media and identified that this guy was clearly depressed. He was saying that pretty much his life wasn't worth living. So in terms of what will change, if it does turn out that it is incorrect procedure following from the police, well, nothing needs to change in law. We don't need to ban particular types of guns or bring in further restrictions. Your GPs are already a part of the process of assessing your suitability. What needs to happen is the police need to be given potentially clearer guidance and certainly enforced to a higher level to make sure that they are following procedure correctly. As long as that is done, our laws and procedures with giving out certificates has a very good track record of working. Let's not forget that it was over 11 years ago where we had the last mass shooting in the UK, and it was well over 10 years prior to that, almost I think 15 years, that we had the last. So these aren't regular occurrences. These are by sort of no means in a general sense issues to be overly worried about, especially when in London alone last year we had over 100 people stabbed to death. On the specific subject of what type of gun was used, a lot of people, the gun control network included, are going to start calling for them to be banned. Again, putting it into perspective, the police took 6 minutes to get there. They are saying that this whole incident took anywhere between 3 and 6 minutes. Even a single barreled shotgun could be loaded and unloaded in a very slow pace during that time. The type of firearm used, be that semi-automatic or pump action, reports do seem to say that it is a pump action that was used, has absolutely no relevance to the outcome of this incident. There could have been a single shot, a side-by-side, an over and under, a pump action, or a semi-auto. From what we know, the result would have been exactly the same. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you found it useful and informative. And as always, guys, I hope to see you soon.